On Larry King Now, Tionne T-Boz Watkins opens up.
We're living proof of that. Biggest girl selling group in history, and I did it with my clothes on, and I'm proud of that because I didn't use sex as my selling point.
You hid the condition for a long time. Why?
I didn't want pity from people. I didn't want to be defined by that, like, oh, that's the sick girl. I just wanted to be Tionne.
You were a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice. What'd you make of Mr. Trump when you worked with him?
I would never do that show again. It was a nightmare.
Because?
They work you to no end. You stayed hungry. The food, they tried to keep you mad and angry the whole time.
Plus, why do they call you T-Boz?
In my 19-year-old mind, it meant Tionne is boss. There was a rapper named Boss at the time.
Yeah,
so I was like, slang for boss was be Boz. And my cousin was like, that's ugly. I was like, yep, but no one else will have it.
All next on Larry King Now. Welcome to Larry King Now. Our special guest today is Tionne T-Boz Watkins, singer, songwriter, actor, author, and one-third of one of the most successful musical acts of all time, the four-time Grammy-winning group TLC. Tionne's new memoir, A Sick Life, TLC and Me, Stories from On and Off the Stage, is available now. We have one thing in common. We both have a boy named Chance.
Yes, we
Yours
do.
is younger, though.
Absolutely, so you beat me to the punch.
Mine's 18. It's a great name. Why'd you name him Chance?
I was gonna name my daughter that, and my god sister's son's name was Choice. And I thought, Choice. I thought that was so awesome, so I was like, oh, I can't steal it, so Chance was the next best thing.
Okay, the book is called A Sick Life. That could have a lot of meanings. Is it referring to sickle-cell anemia?
It has a lot of meanings, like you said, so one of the meanings, yes, is because I was born with a non-curable disease, but the other is I've traveled the world in TLC. I've worked with Michael Jackson, Prince, like I've had a sick life. So good, bad, and indifferent.
All right, you suffered from sickle-cell anemia from birth?
Yeah, absolutely.
You hid the condition for a long time. Why?
I didn't want pity from people, and it just wasn't a conversation piece for me. I didn't want to be defined by that, like, oh, that's the sick girl. I just wanted to be Tionne.
It affects black people, right?
Mostly, predominantly.
Why did you come out and reveal it?
Well, back when, you know, social media wasn't around, if a rumor got out, it was pretty strong. It carried some weight because, you know, we didn't have the same avenues to get it out like we do today.
But why? It's not terrible. I mean, it's a terrible disease, but it's not.
No, it's not.
Doesn't come from sex relation. What?
Right, but they were saying I had AIDS.
Oh, are they related?
Not at all.
Yeah.
But when I would get sick on the road and I would go in the hospital, they would come in being nosy, and it made me mad. You know, I'm like, no matter what I have, even if I did, the fact is I'm sick and I need help. So I got a call from a woman named Linda Anderson, and she was like, I heard you have sickle cell. Would you be interested in becoming a national spokesperson? And I said, you know, this is bigger than me and my fear of, you know, my personal issues that I had, you know. So I was like, maybe I can help people and show them this doesn't have to be a death sentence, because when I was 7, they told me I would never live past 30, I would never have babies, and I would be disabled my whole life, and I superseded that. So I was like, maybe I can help others and show them that you can overcome. It's hard work and it's not easy, but it can be done.
You've had children of your own, right?
Yes, my daughter, Chase.
Does she have sickle cell?
She has the trait.
The trait. When you have sickle cell, what happens to you? What happens to your body?
It's hereditary, so, you know, both parents have to have something. Basically, the easiest way to describe it, everyone else's red blood cells are circular. Ours take on a S shape, like a crescent moon type shape. And what's happening is your blood is clotting because oxygen isn't going to your vital organs, and in turn it causes excruciating pains in your joints and organ failure and death.
How's it treated?
You basically go to the hospital, they give you oxygen, IV fluid to flush your blood, and a lot of pain medicine, but really strong drugs. Like they're like morphine, Dilaudid, and Demerol.
Pain is that bad?
Oh, it feels like a butcher knife, someone stabbing you.
How often do you get it?
Not as often as I used to, because now that I understand what I have, that helped me better treat it. And then also, I do a lot of holistic remedies. So now when I get sick, it's not as long, it's not as bad.
Are there any medications?
Yeah, they have hydroxyurea and other things, and they've come a long way. The research seems to have stopped 40 and under. I'm 47. Like, I want a cure too. I want to be healed. But some people have been cured, like, say, if they had leukemia and sickle cell and had a bone marrow transplant, it just happened to cure the sickle cell. And they have stem cell transplants as well. But it's everybody under 40. So,
did you ever have to walk away from TLC because of it? Did you ever think you had to?
No, I didn't.
Is it discussed now more and more? We always know it's associated with black people. Is it open now more? People talking about it?
Not enough.
I don't hear much about it.
Not enough, and it upsets me because, you know, we hear about AIDS, cancer, and a lot of other benefits, but it has been so hard for me to get attention brought to sickle cell disease. And Prodigy, who just passed away, he had it, and it saddens me to know that, like, once he passed away, then people started really talking about it. When he was here, it wasn't discussed as much, you know? So that shouldn't have to happen for us to die, for someone to, you know, take notice.
Sadly, that's been part of American history.
I know. I'm hoping we can change that a little bit.
It would be nice.
This helps, though. Like, our conversation is such an amazing opportunity.
You said your faith helps you a lot.
Absolutely.
You would think you would be angry at having faith. You would be angry at God.
No.
Why did he give you this?
No, I don't think that way.
What do you think?
I think everything happens for a reason. I may not understand the reason, and I don't know why certain things are the way they are, but I've never been mad at God. Like, I feel like God is the reason why I'm still here.
So you never doubted your faith?
Never.
You work with another writer on the book, and you said, even me telling her my story was like an out-of-body experience. And when I saw it on paper, it's like, wow, I went through a lot of stuff, but it doesn't sound like me. It sounds like another chick.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I didn't realize all my accolades, all the stuff I've done. Like, listening to my anger issues, I've really evolved. I've really grown a lot as a person, especially having kids. Oh my God, that probably saved my life, having my daughter, because my outlook on life was totally different. I was such an angry person when I was younger.
Because of the disease?
Not really just that, like things like my father lying to me. I despise liars mostly because of him, and that started early on. You know, that's the first male in your life, and for him to be such a liar early on, and watching how he did my mother and me, you know, it just tainted my outlook on men and a lot of things like that. In relationships, I may have chose the wrong things or not looking for the right things in love. I never went the promiscuous hoe route, you know, like looking for love in all the wrong places way. I didn't do that, but I think I wanted a protective vibe in a man because I didn't get the protection that I wanted from my father. And if things weren't going well with TLC, like, you want your home life or your, you know, professional life, something has to give. But if both are bad at the same time, you're just pissed off all the time.
Did you sing as a child?
Yes.
Did you sing
I grew up in
school?
church singing, yes, with my mother.
Choir?
Yes, and my whole family sings. My mother and my father had an album.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Our guest is Tionne T-Boz Watkins. We're discussing TLC's return to the studio after a 15-year hiatus and keeping Left Eye's memory alive. We'll talk about that next. The book is A Sick Life. We'll be right back. Tionne T-Boz, why do they call you T-Boz?
In my 19-year-old mind, it meant Tionne is boss. There was a rapper named Boss at the time.
Yeah, I remember
so I was like, slang for boss was be Boz. And my cousin was like, that's ugly. I was like, yep, but no one else will have it. So at 19, it made sense, you know?
You lost a member of TLC, Lisa Left Eye Lopes, in a car accident. Why was she called Left Eye?
Because she said the eye is right. Her left eye slanted more than the right side.
Really?
So Michael Bivins from New Edition and BBD, he was like, yo, Lefty. So he would call her Lefty, and she called herself Left Eye, but her left eye did squint
What
more.
happened in the accident?
She would always go to Honduras to see Dr. Sebi. You've heard of Dr. Sebi. He passed away recently. And she was in search of a lot of things, but she was healing and, you know, trying to heal her body and just find spirituality, basically. And she was driving in the car with 8 people, ran off the road. And
8 people?
8 people, and she's the only one that passed away.
And was that at the height of TLC's career?
Yes.
How did you handle it?
No one can tell you how to mourn anyway, but I've lost people before in my life and loved ones, but when you have to deal with it and you're forced to deal with it with the public, I don't even know how to describe that to this day.
Now you have a new album out.
Yep, me and Chili.
And it's called TLC, and what's the name of the album?
TLC.
Just TLC.
Yep,
what took you 15 years to do it?
Life happened, especially for me. After Lisa passed away, I went through a bad divorce, and I had a life-threatening brain tumor that took me 3.5 years to get over. I lost my sight, my speech, my hearing, and my balance. They took completely from the right side.
Did they operate?
Yep, I had a craniotomy.
Boy, oh boy.
I know.
Sick life, you're not...
I'm not lying about that. Yeah.
Do you ever feel like, why me?
When I came, like when the brain tumor hit, that's when I started questioning, like, what is going on? Like, haven't I been through enough? You know, I wasn't mad, but I'm like kind of like tired. I'm tired of fighting. Like, I felt like I was always working to get sick, to get better, to get sick again. So when this hit, I don't know if the sickle cell prepared me for this. I don't know what, but being in the hospital so much, like, the first day I sat down and that's when you get all those thoughts, like, what in the world is going on? And then the second day, the fight kicked in because I was like, I can't die. I have a daughter to raise. This is not an option.
How does it feel to have a new album out?
It's awesome. And to have so much support from the fans independently. It went #1. It went #1 in the UK and Japan.
Is this the last one, or are you going to do more?
It's the last TLC studio album, yes.
Oh, and Kelly Rowland was on the show recently. She said girl groups are poised for a return.
Oh, yeah, they are. Escape just came back out. That's awesome. Yeah, they are.
How has the industry changed since you guys started?
Oh, it is so different. It is so different.
Records are different.
Oh my God, record companies are non-existent. Basically, they're just good for radio airplay at this point. Because it's totally different. And social media is like a blessing and the curse all at the same time. I'm not really...
It's good and bad.
Yeah, I don't like it a lot.
The back cover of the book reads, when you're told you can't have something, it makes you want it more. So I'm always going to fight for everything I want.
Absolutely.
Did you ever give up?
Never. That's why I'm sitting here now. Of all the things I've been faced with, that's not an option. You can't. Especially because I have kids. Like, even before my daughter was born, I had a special kind of fight. But now that I have my children, I refuse to give up.
So what are your goals? You still have goals? The album's doing great, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been acting on Days of Our Lives. It's so funny. I'm Sheila on Days of Our Lives right now as we speak.
You're on regularly?
Yes, they called me back twice and they gave me a reoccurring role. So it's been such a blast. I love that set. And it's so fun, so much easier than what I do. But I have a new single out as well. So my audio CD, I put 2 songs out. And I have a single entitled Dreams that's out now. I've been writing scripts and so acting. And I EP'd my first movie, ATL, with T.I. and Laura London. And the second was on VH1, The Crazy Sexy Cool TLC Story. So I plan to do more movies and behind-the-scenes work.
Coming up, we're talking sex, feminism, Donald Trump, more with Tionne T-Boz Watkins. Throw in the last name. Back after the break. We're back with Tionne T-Boz Watkins. The book is A Sick Life, TLC and Me, stories from on and off the stage. Oh, you were a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice. What'd you make of Mr. Trump when you worked with him?
Well, that show was a great platform to get more awareness for sickle cell, and that's why I did it. But I would never do that show again. It was a nightmare. Because? They work you to no end. You stayed hungry. The food, they tried to keep you mad and angry the whole time. You worked, like, seriously, 16 to 18 hours, 6 days a week, 1 day off. Food always either came late or you're always hungry.
Is that deliberate?
I think it was. Ain't no way for like a month straight my food is late daily or cold daily, you know, and I hate cold food.
Was your charity sickle-cell?
Yes, absolutely, and I won.
How much money did it raise?
I raised $20,000 for my charity at the time. Rest his soul, but Phil Oliver is who brought me into this fight with sickle cell, and I gave it to his, you know, organization. But I was the taskmaster, and I won, and I didn't get any bad complaints, and I got great compliments. So I was very proud.
You were never fired.
Yeah, I was fired because so I was on there with Joan Rivers and Melissa Rivers, and I volunteered to come back into the boardroom with Melissa, but I was fine with that.
What do you think of him as president?
Not much. I wasn't fond of him then because I didn't like the way he talked to people, like in front of, you know how men disrespect men in front of other men or women, the way he would talk to the camera guys and stuff. I just didn't like that. I think, you know, you never know who your boss can be. You should treat everybody equal in this.
You were an early feminist, weren't you?
I got pushed into that role. I didn't think I was, you know, being one, but really, yeah, I think I have been.
You recently said, we're living proof that you can keep your clothes on and have a career.
Absolutely.
You don't have to take that route unless you choose to do so. Mm-hmm. People will still accept you.
Yeah, we're living proof of that. We kept our clothes on, biggest girl selling group in history, and I did it with my clothes on, and I'm proud of that because I didn't use sex as my selling point, and that's the easiest way.
Okay, we play a little game of If You Only Knew. We just throw questions at you.
Awesome.
Who was your childhood celebrity crush?
My crush was more when I was older. Spartacus, only when he was dressed up like in his Spartan outfit. Oh my God, Andy Whitfield, I was in love with Spartacus.
Secret talent?
My secret talent, I can draw.
Oh, that's good. Guilty pleasure?
I'm a sugar crackhead.
What's the weirdest job you ever had?
I was a telemarketer for Chimney to clean your chimneys.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who would you trade places with for a day?
Michael Jackson.
Something you wish you were better at?
Managing time.
Hard thing to do.
Yeah.
What never fails to make you laugh?
People.
When was the last time you were starstruck?
Michael Jackson.
He was something.
Oh my God, he was my everything. I loved him.
Best compliment you ever got?
Best compliment was finding out I was Michael Jackson's favorite in the group, and we were his favorite group. That was, and Prince as well. He said we were his favorite group. So coming from them two, that was like ultimately the best compliment on the planet.
Strangest fan encounter?
This girl said, "I wish I was you so I could make love to myself."
Yeah, I would say that's strange.
I was like, okay.
What should we be paying more attention to?
Oh my God. The world and what's really going on before our eyes in this time and date in 2017. Wake up. Please wake up.
Do you feel weird when you watch the president and know that you knew him and worked with him and didn't like him very well? Now you see him at the highest office in the world? Yeah,
because, you know, being a president was such, like, you know, something to look up to. Now it's a joke to me. It's a joke. Like, it's like he's running the office like it's a joke. And these are people's lives. This is like real stuff here. This is our lives.
You didn't have a good experience then on the Apprentice?
No, because I'm not going to kiss no one's behind. I don't care who you are and what you do.
Tell me something people don't know about you.
I have weird habits.
Like?
Like, okay, say I love Smart popcorn, the white cheddar ones. So I eat the hard part and I save the balls in my hand, and then I eat the balls last, like stuff like that. Or if I don't like chocolate, so I love Twix, so I bite off the chocolate and then I spit it out and I just eat the caramel on the cookie. Like weird things like that. I sleep in the closet.
You sleep in the closet?
Yeah.
Why?
When it's too loud in my house and the kids can't find me, I love my clothes and it's dark in there, it's quiet, so I'm like, hey, this is a nice place to like hide from people and get some rest.
Tionne is a little weird.
Yes.
She'll answer some of your many social media questions in our final segment. The book is A Sick Life, TLC and Me, Stories from On and Off the Stage, and we'll be right back. We're back with Tionne T-Boz Watkins, and we have some social media questions.
Okay.
Carolina Kula, in your opinion, what's most important for entertainers when interacting with the audience while on stage?
Eye contact and just interacting, period, because you want it to be, you want to be touchable. Like, you don't want to seem like, you know, you're better than anyone or, you know, higher than. It's like we're partying together and we're in this together.
How different is it working as a twosome?
It's different, but you have to find your new normal if you want to continue, and you have to figure it out. Like,
You never thought of adding a third girl?
Never.
Petty Gal Sarah, how do you feel about Lil' Kim, and would you collaborate with her if given the chance?
Absolutely. I love Lil' Kim. I supported her last tour. I went to her dressing room. She took pictures with my daughter. I've always adored her, and I always will.
M. Pin Coom, what's your favorite song from Crazy Sexy Cool?
I don't have a favorite song, but I have a song on there that I wish, no, it wasn't that album. I wish Case of the Fake People was a single, but I don't have a favorite song, but Waterfalls is my favorite video, and I like My Hair and Creep.
Molly Cutie, did you ever have apprehensions about performing again after Left Eye died?
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna not do it. But yeah, of course, because so many people didn't believe in us and I knew it wasn't gonna be the same. So I was very afraid and nervous, but I was going to do it.
Do Wapons, are you ever gonna get married again?
I would. I mean, God has to drop somebody down here because right now I'm not interested. But I mean, if somebody comes along, and yes, I would.
Carol Orina, how do you deal with your pain when you're on stage?
I have a strong tolerance for pain, but now I refuse to work sick, but I work through. I do a lot of things to be on stage more than the average artist. I take oxygen before and after the show. I take so many supplements and vitamins and holistic remedies. Like, I do so many things. I wrap things, tape things. It's like this whole regimen that we all do. I take acupuncture. I have a massage therapist.
Do you still get attacks from the disease?
Yeah, absolutely. I was sick soon as I came off tour, and that was like 3 days ago that I just got better.
TLC Girl 3, I've thoroughly enjoyed watching you act over the years. Do you think you'll ever hit the big screen again?
Absolutely. Watch Days of Our Lives now. You can get a taste of me acting now.
Pretty Girl Saria, do you visit Lisa's grave often?
No, I don't visit graves at all. I don't like that. That's a personal decision for people. They don't know you're there, so I don't like doing that. It just reminds me of bad things.
Me 6996, do you think it's possible to push for more mental health awareness? And if so, how do you go about it?
Well, my cousin, if everybody was paying attention, what just happened to my cousin who was shot 18 times by the cops on September 20th, and he was mentally ill.
Where?
In Peoria, Illinois.
Why?
That's what I want to know. He robbed a bank. They said he had a weapon.
September 20th?
Yeah. They haven't answered any of my family's questions. If they said they used his mom to say, come out on the bullhorn. They had him come out, and they said he charged the cops aggressively after being told to come out. 6. The crime doesn't fit the punishment. There's so many people who, he didn't hold anybody hostage. He didn't threaten anyone's life. He was more of a harm to himself than anybody. But if he did charge you aggressively towards you, how did he get shot in the back of the head? How did he get shot in his face? 18 times is very brutal and excessive.
Is this a big story?
I'm putting it out there, and now I want it to be. Because they need to answer and be held accountable, because he was one skinny, sweet person. His record says nonviolent, never harmed anybody. Even the bank teller said her life, she didn't even feel threatened. So 18 times.
Why isn't this a major national story?
That's what I want to know, and that's what I'm trying to do, because it needs to be.
But all of it was kneeling down to football players and talking about crimes against blacks by police. This is incredible.
And I've always followed Black Lives Matter, and looking at all the insensitive comments on the internet because my group member said a comment, just because we're one group doesn't mean we're one mind. I think of things differently, and my fight is different. And she's a grown woman, and she can think what she wants. But at the end of the day, I'm not speaking up just because it happened to my family. I've been talking since Trayvon Martin, since all of this has started. I just wish we as a people would stick together on all fronts, and I still believe that. But this is something that keeps going on, and now it's hit close to home. But because my cousin was mentally ill, and you used his mother, she's having a press conference, and I hope she gets justice, and I hope he does too. I just held him last Sunday. He was such a sweet person.
How old was he?
25. And now she doesn't have her son. And she works so hard. It's so hard in this, the health for mentally ill people is so hard. They don't help us. She tried for years after year to get him help. And they kick him out of the hospital after 3 days. Like, it's so hard.
This deserves more attention.
Thank you, it does.
I'm simply writing, how was the adoption process with your son, Chance?
It was one of the most stressful times in my life, because I had my son from birth, and I love my son. You can't tell me I didn't birth that baby. That is my baby. I love my son. And to think that you have to get permission to keep your child, you know, he was mine. I had him. And I loved him the same way the first day I saw Chase. He's changed my life in so many ways, and he's been such a blessing to my family. I love that boy. So, but it's a hard process, I'm not gonna lie. Because we're talking about a life, and when you love someone that deep, and to know that someone could say, no, you're not good enough, or no, I don't think, like that was like, I couldn't wait for my court date to come.
Thank you, baby. Great talking to you.
You as well.
Wow. Thanks to my guest, Tionne T-Boz Watkins, A Sick Life, TLC and Me, stories from on and off the stage. It's available now. You can always find me on Twitter at King's Things. We'll see you next time.